Welcome back, 3D students. Apologize for all the background noise you hear. My hard drive is going crazy, and also somewhere in the house laundry is being done. And the heat is running since it's snowing outside, so just apologize for all the background noise up front. So in this video, we're going to create an animation preview. And what an animation preview is it allows you to create a video of your animation, and it's used so that you can take a look at the animation speeds and make sure everything is correct about your animation before you do the final render. The reason you would want to do a preview is because in your viewport, the animation speed is not exactly as it would be potentially after rendering. So let's get started by bringing up Animation Preview. You can find it up here in your Tools, Preview, grab Viewport, and we're going to create a preview animation. And that window looks like this. Now in here we can set the animation range. We can also set the render to show or hide different aspects of our render. We can show bone objects. I'm going to uncheck that because I really don't want to show those. We can set the animation range. We can set the resolution. Actually, we can't set the resolution. This number here, 1280 by 720, comes from your render setup right here. If you change it, then you can see that it changes here. So make sure it's at least 1280 by 720. We can also choose to show the grid or not. Let's go ahead and check that one. We can choose to overlay safe frames. We can overlay the frame numbers if we want to. Let's check that and see what that looks like. We can overlay the camera view and the MXS snippet. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And we can set the lighting here and the shading. We can turn on etched faces or not, and so forth and so on. There's lots of things we could do. We're going to have to click File here because I need to show you a couple things that happen in the File window. The first thing you need to look at is where it's going to go. It's going to go into the Previews folder in your project folder, in whatever project folder you're synced into. You need to name it here. I think that name is just fine. You need to tell it what file type you want. In this case, we want the AVI. That is the only video file choice here. And then after you click this button, you'll see Setup. If you click that button here, you can change the type of video compression. You can change it to different codecs, and when you change it to different codecs, you get different tools, and your file size will be different. Okay, we're going to leave it at this one. Go ahead and click OK, and then click Save. Now before we create this thing, I want you to come over here to your layers, and I want you to hide your control objects. That's why we created the layers, but we have to actually cancel this before we can do that. So let's hide the control objects. Bring that back up. Make sure everything is as we wanted it. And let's click Create. And it's going to preview the creation of the video in your viewport. And when you're done, it should pop it right up and begin to play it. And that's what it looks like. If you set it to loop, then it will just continue to play like that. Now what I want you to do with this video is I want you to put this in your portfolio. But you can't put the type of video that 3D Max created online. We need to convert it to another type of video file. So let's go ahead and save this and close it. And in order to put this on ArtStation or any other online website, we need to convert it to an H.264 or an MP4 file. And a good tool to use to do that is Adobe Media Encoder. So go ahead and bring up your Start menu, and you should find Adobe Media Encoder in there, right here. If you don't see it, you may have to go to Creative Cloud and install it. But if you have Premiere Pro installed, you should have it. Now, when it pops up, it looks like this. A lot of stuff going on here, but let's just come over to this window here. So let's click this plus sign, and that's going to allow us to add the video we created into the queue here for conversion. So mine happens to be in a folder on my external hard drive that I use called 3D Max 2024 Scratch. And remember, I said it was going to be in the previews folder. And here it is. So find your preview file and click open, and it will add it to the queue. Now, lucky for us, by default, it's already set to H.264. If it's not, you click this little list and choose H.264. And when you do that, it should default to match source high bit rate. If not, click the list and choose that. And it should put it back in the same folder, only as a different file type. If you don't want it to go there, click this link and choose another location. I'm going to leave everything as is and click the play button. And it very quickly transcoded my video to the H.264 codec. And if we go to that hard drive, to that folder, you'll see it right here. If I hover over it, you will see that it's an MP4 file. This we can now put on ArtStation or any other online platform that we choose. So after you render your preview, you're going to want to transcode it using Media Encoder to an MP4 and put it into your portfolio. Hope you enjoyed this video and this video series, and I'll see you in the next one.